Fulya, I'm Joe from Borello Search. Thank you so much for agreeing to be in my podcast series, Formidable Females in Future Flight. The purpose of the series is to inspire more women to consider careers in aviation and aerospace. So I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Yes, thanks for having me. Actually, it's really nice to meet you.
Oh, thank you. So first of all, could you tell me a little bit about your role and what are you doing here at Deutsche Aircraft?
Yes, so I'm a sustainable aircraft design and operations engineer here at Deutsche Aircraft.
Brilliant.
Right, do you want me already to explain a bit more?
Uh, yeah, well, first of all, could you tell me, just in case anybody in our audience
hmm
is not that familiar with Deutsche Aircraft,
hmm
could you tell me a little bit about the business and what is its mission, and then we'll go on to your role.
Sure. So Deutsche Aircraft is a German
Hmm.
aerospace or aircraft manufacturer.
Yeah.
We are the TC holder of the D328.
Hmm.
And also are in-service partner for our existing in-service fleet for the
Uh-huh.
D328. Um, at the same time, right now we are building our new prototype,
Hmm.
the D328 Echo, which is basically based on the D328, which is basically based on the heritage of Dornier. And yeah, one of our key missions is basically to make this aircraft reliable, efficient, and also sustainable. And in the sustainable part, that's where I and our team, the sustainable flight team, is coming in to really make that happen as well.
Fabulous. So it's basically going to be a new, more efficient version of the legacy aircraft that the business already looks after.
Correct. So the D328 Echo will be
Hmm.
a retrofitted aircraft of the D328.
Yes.
Um, Having in mind
Yeah.
sustainability and how we can really reduce our footprint in aviation.
Fabulous. That's such an exciting project. And could you tell me a little bit about your role?
Yes, so as I have mentioned, I'm a
Mhm.
sustainable aircraft design and operations engineer.
Yeah.
So this means that I am at the very beginning
Hmm.
of yeah, looking into our aircraft. So it's a more broader perspective.
Yeah.
I'm really looking into the preliminary aircraft design challenges
Hmm.
that we have when we are designing an aircraft. And at the same time that I have the sustainability in front of my aircraft design.
Hmm.
So I really look into how our aircraft does impact the climate and how it does impact our atmosphere. So basically, what I do is calculate our emissions and estimate our emissions with whatever we have, to really see, okay, this is where we are emitting, for example, CO2 or contrails in which areas, and how can we reduce it. So I look into mitigation options, technically in the aircraft design and also in operations. How can we reduce our footprint on yeah, while flying our aircraft?
Brilliant. That sounds like a really rewarding role. I wondered, what was it that encouraged you to pursue, first of all, studying engineering, and then pursuing a career in this sector?
Mhm.
Is there anything that guided you to make that decision early on?
Yes, actually, actually in school, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade.
Hmm.
We had like a professions day,
Uh-huh.
and it was really nice because there was a really inspiring person who was a flight mechanic,
Hmm.
aircraft mechanic, and he explained what his daily job basically is. So he explained his day-to-day basis working on an aircraft, really being involved with all the yeah, parts of an aircraft, the systems of an aircraft, and this really intrigued me,
Hmm.
because until that point of time, I never was in contact with aviation or
Hmm.
with technique in or technical jobs in general.
Yeah.
So hearing that was really interesting because, of course, aviation was always something that fascinated me. Flying to vacation or something and being in an aircraft was always very fascinating. But being able to be part of that let's say, of building an aircraft was something that I never considered.
Yeah.
So from then on, I really wanted to get into aviation. I only had a problem that my parents and my family, my friends were not really supportive of that, because as a female in a male-dominated field, it was a little bit difficult for them to understand why I wanted to be in that kind of field. So yeah, being an aircraft mechanic was not something that I didn't get a lot of support on. So I really went back a step and looked with my parents and my friends what are other options in the aerospace industry. And I always wanted to do something with science, as I was really good in that as well. So I figured out that you can study aerospace engineering, that you can be an engineer developing aircraft, and this was from then on something that I really wanted to do, and that's why I also purchased aerospace engineering.
Yeah.
Right, and
Brilliant.
that's one start to my career, basically.
Yes, yeah. So although they were a little bit hesitant at first, and in the end, once you really made the decision to study aerospace engineering at degree level, did you find in the end that actually your parents and your friends were supportive and proud?
Yes, of course, they were really, really supportive.
Yeah.
They helped me through every hardship during this engineering degree, because it's not that easy. But it was really, really nice to have them as a background, on the background as well, supporting me all the time, to know that there's someone who helps you also through difficult times. Also, they supported me quite a lot being a female in this field as well. They were like, oh, it's nice that you're there and you can show that it is possible to achieve something even if it's male dominated.
Yes, yeah. And as you've developed your career, do you think that being female has actually had any impact at all? Have you felt different to the colleagues around you?
So actually, no. I think it's a generational thing as well. So working with my colleagues, I never felt disrespected or anything. We all were always like on the same level, having the same or similar experiences, everyone in their respective fields, of course.
Yeah.
And I was always looked at with respect and with the knowledge that I have.
Yeah.
And what I really liked is that in this field, women also empower other women.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see that even if it's male dominated, there are a few women, but it's really nice to be here and to work.
Yeah, brilliant. And what would you say is the thing that you enjoy the most on a day-to-day basis in your job? Is there anything that really stands out that makes you just love coming to work here?
Yes, so the team is amazing here at Deutsche Aircraft. I really like working with them. It's also really nice that it's kind of flexible and that I have the opportunity to push also future topics. For example, last year we had a project called the Uplift Clim Art project. And there we really did emission and contrail testing on ground and in flight. With our turboprop D328, and it was really nice because it was the first time that we really did measure emissions behind a turboprop. And yeah, something really nice as well is that we have done this also with a fuel that is not very common yet. It was a eSAF.
Yes.
So a sustainable aviation fuel with 0% aromatics that was synthetically produced.
Yeah.
And we tested basically, what are the emissions and contrails behind that as, coming from the aircraft as well.
Yeah.
And what kind of impact does it have on our climate? And together with DLR and Sasol, the fuel provider, we were able to really work on this project. Internally, we had quite a lot of challenges as well, as it was the first time the team came together to really work on a small project as well. But it was a huge success for all of us to really make that happen with a really important goal in mind, that we are reducing our footprint.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like a fantastic mission to be part of, and I can see that, being female really doesn't make a difference in today's world. And I'm sure that actually being part of a diverse and thriving team is just a brilliant thing.
Yes.
Is there anything that you would say to other women and girls who are thinking about a career in this sector, whether they're an engineer or in any other discipline? What would be your advice to them?
Yes, so as you have just said, aerospace is not just only engineering, it's also, yeah, we have colleagues in communications, in marketing, in sales, in finance. So there are so many departments that you can work in, and we are all connected. So it's really nice to have that opportunity. And I think aerospace is giving you the opportunity to really work in different fields of it. And it's also really nice that we have quite a lot of intercultural people here as well, as aviation is international.
Yeah.
So it also adds to that multicultural role that aviation is having. So it's really nice to have that.
Brilliant. Well, I guess it really chimes in with the fact that the whole point of aviation is to build one connected world. So it makes absolute sense that the team reflects that.
Yes.
It's been so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for taking the time, and all the very best of luck with getting the new product to market. It sounds fabulous, and I can't wait to see it in the sky.
Thanks. Thank you for having me here. It was really nice talking with you.
Thank you.